Hello there, muckers. It's Connor, and I am once again taking a look at a modification for Star Wars Empire at War Forces of Corruption, called Star Wars Empire at War Remake, which is currently in development by a really incredible modder actually called Geronimo, who does some of the best models and textures for any Star Wars ships that I have ever seen. I mean, the amount of detail and work that goes into them is nothing short of amazing. So what I've got here above this is a fleet I've quickly built up. It has a couple of Allegiance class Star Destroyers, and a Mobilizer Star Destroyer, Procurator Mini Star Destroyer, normal Star Destroyer Mark IIs, Victories, Gladiators, and a couple of boron firing ships. So let's go. Let's bring the hurt to the enemy. And I'm going to set let's bring the Allegiance in first. Love myself an Allegiance class Star Destroyer. It's like a normal Star Destroyer, but it's bigger. So yes, what this modification is, it's a remake of Star Wars Empire at War, obviously, it's in the name. But I like to see it as Star Wars Empire at War 2, because it's keeping everything that's awesome about the game and making it better. So this is the Empire, obviously, that I'm currently playing as, but he has also redone the Galactic Rebellion, the Rebel Alliance, and the Consortium, even though he didn't really have to. He's redone all three factions, and they look gorgeous. So we've got a Consortium fleet that I just kind of destroyed the crap out of, going over Sol's tier, and they're retreating with their Lucre Hulk. So let's see if we can't, actually let's bring out Palpy over. Let's bring out Steve over and see if he'll have a look at it for us. Oh, actually we've got Thrawn and everything else here, so let's bring Thrawn over. Come on, Palpatine, move. Let's bring out Palpy over with Thrawn and Piet. Oh shit, he bugged out. That ain't good. Let's bring our fleet to Solist and then send Boba out to see where they're at. Oh, he's back. There we go. Begin. Let's have a look at some incredible models and the best looking ships you'll ever see in an Empire at War modification. Alright, so we've got our Allegiance class. It's like twice the size of a normal Star Destroyer, I believe. It's the same concept for a Star Destroyer, only with more guns and weaponry and everything else. So let's have a look here.
Is preventing our assault on this system. Dispatch them so that we can secure orbit for the Empire.
Don't worry, Mr. Steve Blum, we will take care of them. Right, so seeing how we can't trust Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, whatever you want to call them, or EA to make us a decent Star Wars game, all my trust now lies on the shoulders of modders, because they have honestly been doing a better job than any developer in recent years. And to be honest, it's to be expected. Right, so I have a Allegiance class here. Let's bring in a Star Destroyer just to show the difference in scales.
Coming around.
Also, let's bring in a Procurator. It's like a small Star Destroyer. And then a Victory, which is the predecessor to the Star Destroyer. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. There we go. Okay, everything's good. What is El Palpy in? Oh, he's in a shuttle. I pretty much expected that. I wasn't expecting the eclipse. Well, I wanted to see it, but I'm not going to get it. Look at the detail. Every time I zoom in and look at the detail of one of these ships, I'm still gobsmacked. I mean, the Procurator, which I'm currently looking at, is a smaller version of the Star Destroyer. It's obvious, you can just tell by looking at it. I don't know, it doesn't have any hanger on it, it does not look like. Which begs the question, if these ships do not have hangers, then how do the crew get aboard? But anyway, yes, you can see these turbo laser batteries located on the top side of the hull. You can see how one of them is facing a different location, a different position there. Each turbo laser battery on the ship, it can find its own target and fire at will. And the turbo laser will actually face whatever it's firing at, so it's incredibly cinematic and epic. There's something I should actually mention as well. All the fighter models, all the fighter sizes for every faction, I have reduced the scaling of just so they're to cannon sizes. It does make it quite difficult in watching them and seeing them dogfight, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. I just like everything to be to scale. Otherwise, I go all compulsive over it and get annoyed. The Allegiance is such a beautiful ship. But let's have a look at the Lucre Hulk. I was talking to Geronimo on his page the other day, and I asked him which was his favourite ship that he's worked on, and he said the Lucre Hulk. Because it's the ship that he had to change things up with and become better at modelling with. And honestly, the ships he did before this don't look bad at all. They look pretty awesome. But look at this. Look at the detail. You can see the little shields there on the hangar doors. Remember when a certain little retard flew in there and in the Naboo Starfighter? The interior of this is fully modelled. I want to see if I can get a good shot. I don't think I can. Now, those tri-fighters are in the way. Damn it. Let me see if I can get a shot around here. There we go. You can kind of see inside it, can't you? But yes, the interior is fully modelled and textured, which is pretty damn awesome. That's something he didn't really have to do. Also, whenever the hardpoints are destroyed, you actually see the damage is done. The turbo lasers will just fly off, they'll explode, and then you'll see fire and other damage on the ships. He is redoing everything for this mod. Absolutely everything. And it literally is, in every sense of the word, a new game whenever he is through with all that, because everything has changed. Now, of course, you can't change the base game mechanics or anything, or how it plays or anything, but honestly, Star Wars Space Combat is awesome, and I would like more games that use this model. Now, one thing I want to show you about the Victory here. Victory is a pretty nice ship. Honestly, I don't like the ship in any other mods or even in the base game because it just looks ugly, but this makes it look awesome. It kind of reminds me of the Centurion from the Old Republic. Look at the hangar. See how it goes inside? That is awesome. Who does that? Who puts that amount of detail in? Geronimo does. Not to mention all the particle effects. So let's wait a few seconds there. Right. Here is a quad turbo laser battery. Right. You can see it firing. You can see the light still leaving the barrels there. And there it is there. Now there are 4 guns on that battery. You can see 4 shots. That is absolutely fucking gorgeous. It's the same with the... Let me see if I can bring the ISD in. Of course, let me put on my Fighters to Hunt because it's an awesome ability. It means I don't have to worry about giving them all orders over and over again. Power to the weapons. This is something that's pretty damn cool. Watch this. I'm not sure how it makes the ships go faster, but look, I can lock the S-foils of the Victory. Look at that. That is awesome. But when I open them, it will fire missiles from these little tubes here. The Lucre Hulk is a really powerful ship. You can see that even the Allegiance here isn't doing too well against it. Bring in the Star Destroyer in just so I can show you it firing. Trying to get a good shot of them firing the turbo laser batteries. Right, so let's see. Where are they? Are they under the ship? What's going on here? Right, so there is the turrets, or one of the turbo laser batteries on the Imperial Star Destroyer, of which it has 8. There are 4 lined up here and 4 on the other side. And each of these turbo laser batteries has 8 guns, and you can see it here. Can't really get close in to look, but you know, you can tell here that there are 8 shots being fired. So in the base game, the vanilla Empire at War, there would have just been one big ugly green laser blurb fired from the ship at a time from each gun. But in this, every gun aims individually at a target of its choosing. Depending on whether you tell it to attack a certain target or not, they aim at the target and they move. Look, they were originally facing down this way. Now they're turned towards the Lucre Hulk. And another awesome thing about Geronimo and his mods for Star Wars Empire at War, he is the first one that I've seen to figure out a way to make ships jump in at different altitudes and elevations. And what I mean by that is, let's say I had a couple more Star Destroyers, you know, these ones here. If I called them in the vanilla Empire at War, they would have been on the same level, you know, the same height and all. They would have been all as if they were sailing on water or something. And that didn't make sense. In space, the elevation doesn't really matter. You can be at different elevations, which kind of is important in a Star Wars mod, I feel. And a lot of mods are starting to take this on, which is awesome. But also, look at all the mini turbo laser batteries here, riddled all over the hull of the ship. They're just littered everywhere. They look so badass, they actually look like warships. And I hate in the vanilla version of the game where it doesn't actually have any, physical interpretation of the actual guns on the ship. You can see they're still littered here. Ones here, that's an ion cannon battery which takes down shields really quickly. Whereas the turbo lasers are focused on damaging the actual hull of the enemy ship. But yeah, the elevations are important. So let's say I had more Allegiance classes as well. One would be here, another one could be way down here, and one could be up here. It's fucking awesome. So let's just watch the battle unfold. I did make this video before, but it was buggy for some reason on YouTube. I did render it in 60 FPS and also recorded it in 60 FPS, but YouTube didn't care. The video was really bad quality, and I also got a couple of things wrong. I thought that the Procurator, which is this ship, was an original design by Geronimo himself, and although there are ships of his design in the modification, this is an extended universe ship, and I was getting confused. I thought this was a made up ship because there's a ship called the Procurator, which is quite big. It's about the same size. No, it's actually bigger than the Allegiance class. But I thought that was the only ship with that kind of name. But obviously there's a Procurator class in the extended universe, so thank you for pointing that out. But look at all the little individual windows. Now I love that in a modification. It just gives a general idea of how big the ships are. And that's how I scale down the fighters. It's awesome. Look at them firing, look at that. Nothing short of gorgeous. I wish there was a way to remove the user interface. There might be. I'm just not sure of what it is. I know you can just do this here.
Watch him. He's coming around. Target critical.
But yeah, it doesn't allow you to get as close as I can get when I'm just zooming in.
Returning to your position.
Right, that Looker Hulk looks like it's going to try and bug out again. And this is the perfect time to show you the damage model on the ships. So there's been a couple of turbo laser batteries or ion batteries or whatever destroyed on the ship's hull here. And they are represented by flames. There's an actual damage model here which is incredible.
My scopes are jammed.
I love it. The only problem I would have with this kind of modification is that Empire at War is such an old game that it doesn't run off that many cores. I believe the game runs off a single core. So if there's far too much on the screen at one time, the game will lag horribly. But the good thing and the nice thing about Star Wars Empire at War is all it really uses is a skybox. There's a few asteroids around here. Apart from that, unlike the ground combat, it won't lag like crazy when there's a lot on the ground, which is awesome.
Choose your reinforcements.
And I really want to call in the Bellator, which is my favourite ship in the Star Wars universe.
Where are the others?
It really is my favourite ship. I say a lot, oh, that ship's my favourite. The Horror War's my favourite ship. My top 5 ships from the Star Wars universe would be... let me see. Number 1 would be the Bellator. Number 2 would be the Horror Star Destroyer from the Old Republic era, which the Sith Empire used. Then the Venator would be in there. After that, I'm not sure actually. I like a couple of the New Republic warship designs. I'm forgetting what name they have. There's one of them, it's like a carrier version. You get it in Star Wars Sins of a Galactic Empire, that modification. It's like a Star Destroyer, Nebula Star Destroyer, that's it. I really like that. And of course the good old Imperial Star Destroyer as well. I just love the design of these ships. That looks so freaking intimidating, doesn't it? Look at that. So what I'm going to do is, after this battle, I'm going to jump the Bellator in so I can give you a look at that ship, just as a little bonus, because I love that ship's model. I love the design of the ship, and Geronimo did an awesome job on it. And look at the impact. You get to see the little impact particle effects as well. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is actually... Oh, I love my ship porn. Oh, yes, ship porn. I'm better than it.
Watch for enemy ships.
One thing I have to say that if my girlfriend is currently watching this, she would be incredibly embarrassed. Whoa, look at that! Now that is an explosion, and look, the ship just cracks in half. Geronimo, I salute you, sir. I salute you with all my... I'm not going to say heart, that sounds a little bit
Watch him. He's coming around.
weird. I'm manly, I'm as manly as a man can be. I salute you for all the awesome work you've done. How about we settle it there? Right there, jumping out. They jumped in with a Lucre Hulk. They left with a shuttle and a couple of fighters. Fear the Empire, for they are absolute. Right, so I'm just gonna... What the fuck? Where's this here going on the other side of the galaxy? Don't care about that. Right. Bellator as the flagship of the fleet. The Vanguard, which means it jumps in first. Right, it's just a station. I just want to show this ship off anyway, before I leave it there. But yes, I will put a link down below to Empire at War Remake, and also his other modification, which covers the Old Republic era, Old Republic at War. So check them both out. They're awesome. One thing to mention is that if you play Galactic Conquest in this, it may crash. There are still bugs, as you saw with some of the explosions. But when it's finished and fully released, it will be perfect.
Eliminate them to prepare for our land invasion.
Okay, Steve Plum. Right. Look at that. Look at that ship. Look at the detail. Look at the sheen of the metal. Whenever there's light shining on it, it just looks gorgeous. And another thing, look at the many guns. It's like if the USA had a Star Wars battleship, this would be it. Now the Bellator is classed as a Super Star Destroyer, but it's nowhere near as big as the Executor or the Eclipse, for example. But it's still a pretty damn big ship. And it's the biggest ship the Empire can currently get. I was just thinking about the Death Star 2. That's more of a station, isn't it? It's not so much a ship. But look at that. You know what? Let me just have a look here.
Squad reporting.
I'm trying to get a view on the fighters here, but there we go. Look at that. Dun 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 dun. What the fuck's going on there? You are big, mate. You're awful big. Let's have a little cinematic view here while the Bellator slowly lumbers towards its target. I just want to say thank you all very much for watching. You can now support the channel by going to Patreon and donating anything from $1 upwards. It really helps the channel. Currently, I have no source of income, so making videos on a regular basis is something that I love doing, but getting some help now and again from you guys would be awesome. Go over to ModDB and show Geronimo all your support. He really does deserve it. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Squadron reporting. Setting up my run.
Defenders ready. Setting up my run.
Got him. Returning to your position. It's about to be destroyed. I'll take care of this.
We are victorious.
Good day, loyal citizens of the Empire. Today, the Emperor has employed a system that will allow you to support the latest Imperial endeavors. Click the link below to support a safer and brighter future for every citizen of the Empire.